Everyone, so this will serve as our pre-recorded discussion for our next lesson in semifinals, which is the human body and organ system. So from the title itself, we will be focusing on the 11 organ system that can be found in our human body. So let's now start and know what are those organ system. Of course, organ system, as I've eventually discussed in you guys in our previous topic, that organ system is an organ system that a group of organs that all contribute to particular function. Meaning to say, organ system is from a group of organs. That group of organs has its own different specific function. And by that specific function, it can contribute a particular function to each system. So what are the 11 system? We have integumentary system, nervous, skeletal, endocrine, muscular, cardiovascular, lymphatic, urinary, respiratory, digestive, and reproductive. So I will be introducing to you guys the 11 organ system from its major function through its parts. Okay? Let's go. So this is actually the illustration. As you can see, from the integumentary system, which is focuses on the skin, from the muscular system, which is the muscles, from the skeletal system, which is the bones, and from the nervous, which is the nerves, from the endocrine itself, as you can see, and the circulatory, the blood, the circulation of the blood, from the lymphatic through the reproductive system. So this is our the reproduction. From this picture, you can eventually see what are those parts that is in the different system. Okay, let's continue. So let's start now with the very first system, or the protection and the support of everything, which is the integumentary system. Of course, the major organs of integumentary system, we have skin, hair, sweat glands, and nails. So what are the major function of it? It protects against environment hazard, helps to regulate body temperature, provides sensory information. So integumentary system is particularly in the outside of the body. So what are those outside of the body that can protect and support the internal organ of the body? We have the skin, hair, and the nails. So that are the outside part of the integumentary system that eventually can give the protection and support in the internal organ. So that is integumentary system. Don't please remember that one. Okay? Aside from integumentary system, we also have nervous system. Nervous system, major organs, we have brain, spinal cord, peripheral nerves, and sense organ. So by this major organ, we can eventually say that nervous system is focusing on the nerves. It actually directs or give information or give responses to our stimuli. It also coordinates or moderates activities of other organ system and provides and interprets sensory information about external conditions. Or in a simple way of explaining, nervous system can collect, transfers, and processes information and direct short-term change in other organ system. So that is the major function of the nervous system. It collects, transfer, and processes information. That is why it focuses, or one of the organ in the nervous system is our brain. Collects, transfer, and process information. So that is nervous system. Next, we have skeletal system. So now let's go with another system. We have skeletal system. So the major organ for skeletal system, we have bones, cartilages, associated ligaments, and bone marrow. So eventually, as you can see in the picture, we have the bones of our body. So provide support and protection for other tissues. That is the major function. Stores calcium and other minerals. Forms blood cells. So always remember that our bone stores a calcium, but there is so-called a replacement of a calcium if we have this in the stage of development at our embryo for the ladies. pwede nating gawa na merong nangyayaring replacement of the calcium for our calcium level sa Jana stage, ang mga babae, kapag nagde-develop na tayo ng embryo. Okay? So, meaning to say, when we say skeletal system, it supports, protects soft tissue of the body. It also provides movement at joints, produces blood cells, and stores minerals. Yan yung simple way on explaining what a skeletal system. When we say skeletal system, supports and protects soft tissue of the body. And of course, it also protects the internal organ of our body. That is why it is a bone. Not only with that, bone also can provide movement at the joints. Pwede. Bakit ba natin nababali? Hindi lang naman muscular system ang nagproproduce ng movement Also, the skeletal system. Skeletal system with the presence of muscular system, that is the reason why we can walk, we can run, we can flex, we can get what we want in a different distance because there is so-called skeletal system joined with the muscular system. Okay? So let's proceed to another. We have the endocrine system. What are those major functions that is presented in endocrine system? We have pituitary gland, thyroid gland, pancreas, adrenal glands, gonads, or particularly in testes and ovaries, endocrine tissues in other system. So what is the major function of this kind of system? So the function of it is directs long-term changes in the activities of other organ system, adjust metabolic activity and energy used by the body, controls many structural and functional changing during development. Okay, so aside from that, endocrine system also focuses on providing communication within the body via hormones and dito na pumapasok ang direct long-term change in other organ system to maintain homeostasis. So that is the major function, or that concludes the simplest way on defining endocrine system. Is when we say endocrine system, it provides communication within the body. How does the endocrine system do that one? By the part which is called as hormones. Okay, so pag endocrine system, communication within the body via hormones. Yon. And also, in that case, if there's a so-called communication, it would lead with the direct long-term change in the other organ system. Meaning to say, adjusting everything is in the endocrine system. Okay, if you have question, you can leave that in our GC. Next to endocrine, we have the muscular system. When we say muscular system, it is a skeletal muscles. A major organs of it are skeletal muscles and associated tendons and aponeuroses or tendinous sheaths. What are the major functions of the muscular system? Provides movement, provides protection and support for other tissues, generates that maintains body temperature, or it eventually provides. So the simplest explanation in this system is it provides movement, support, and heat production. Kaya nga sinasabing generate heat and maintain your body temperature kasi dyan ang focus ni muscular system. Heat production. Kaya nga we can feel cold, warm, or hot because of our muscular system. And by that, we can regulate and maintain the temperature surrounds us because of our muscular system. Okay? So let's proceed. Okay, the next system is the cardiovascular system. So the major organs in this system are heart, blood, and blood vessels. So as you can see in the picture itself, namumuong blood ito, the circulation of our blood. Yan. So what are the major function of it? So, napakadali. It distributes blood cells, water, and dissolved materials including your nutrients, waste, products oxygen and carbon dioxide. It also distributes heat and assists in control of the body. And when we say, in the simplest way on explaining the cardiovascular system, it actually transports oxygen, nutrients, and other substances to the cell. It also transport waste, carbon dioxide, and other substances away from the cell. So from transporting oxygen and nutrients to the cell, going to transporting waste, carbon dioxide, and other substances away from the cell. So that is the function of cardiovascular system. Aside from that, it can also help to stabilize your body temperature. Kaya gani, the potential hydrogen of your body, that's why it said that it's distribute heat and assist control of the body temperature kasi merong power or merong function si cardiovascular that can stabilize your body temperature. So that's it. That is the function in the major organ of cardiovascular system. Okay, let's proceed to the lymphatic system. So what are those major organs of lymphatic system? We have spleen, thymus, lymphatic vessels, tonsils, lymph nodes also. Okay, what are the major function of it? We have defense against infection and disease, return tissue fluids to the blood streams. Or in the simplest word, on defining what is lymphatic system, it is actually it transfers, aside from defense against infection and disease, it can transfer lymph between tissue and the blood stream. So that is the simplest function of the lymphatic system, the defendant of the system. Meaning to say, this system can defend our body against the infection and diseases. Yun siya. Kung meron tayong nagsisirculate ng blood and meron tayong nagsusupport ng body and protection our body, meron tayong defendant also. Meaning to say, meron tayong taga-defend ng internal organ natin from the infection. And what that kind of system? We have lymphatic system. Okay, next we have urinary system. So from the from the system itself, or from the name of the system is that urinary, urine. So what are those parts that can eventually produces by urine? We have kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. So what are the functions of it? Of course, so since it is a urinary system, it excrete waste product from the blood, controls water balance from regulating volume of urine produced, stores urine prior to voluntary elimination, and lastly, regulate blood ion concentration in potential hydrogen. Okay, so in the simplest word on defining what is urinary, it is the removing, this system removes excess water, salt, and waste products from the blood, and it controls your body potential hydrogen. So that is urinary system. When we say urinary, excretion, removing. So that is the key term of it. Okay, so let's proceed. Let's proceed now to the next system. We have respiratory system. What are those major systems in the respiratory system? We have a major organ, we have nasal cavities, sinuses, larynx, trachea, bronchi, lungs, and alveoli. What are the major function of it? It delivers air to alveoli, sites in the lungs where gas exchange occur, provide oxygen to bloodstream, removes carbon dioxide from bloodstream, produces sound for communication. Or in other words, when we say respiratory system, it delivers to sites where gas exchange can occur. Yan. It is, kaya nga sinasabing respiratory. Okay. From the gas exchange that occur in our body. So that is respiratory system. Next, we have digestive system. Digestive system, from the name itself of the digestive of the system, it is focused on the digestion. What is the major organ for digestive system? We have teeth, tongue, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. What are the major functions for digestive system? Processes and digest food. Of course, since it is digestive system and it focuses on the digestion. Absorb and conserve water. Absorb nutrients, ions, water, and the breakdown products of dietary sugar, protein, and fats. And lastly, stores energy reserves. So, digestive system processes and absorb nutrients, mineral, vitamins, and water. So, digestive system focuses on what food that you are intaking. So, that in that food, the digestive system has a function to process the entire food that you are eating. Lahat ng yan. Si digestive system na po ang nagre-regulate and nag-a-absorb kung may nutrients, may minerals, may vitamins, or may water ba ang kinakain mo. Okay, so that is the importance why digestive system, why your digestion is important kasi nare-regulate yan. Nalalaman yan because of the different part of the digestive system. Okay, from the teeth itself, once you've put your food in your mouth, then eventually swallowed it, starting to eat it, you are actually having your digestion. Nadadigest na siya from the very beginning that you put the food in your mouth and you start to swallow it. That is digestive system. Next, we have the male reproductive system. Bakit merong two? Of course, there are different parts in the reproductive system pertaining to the male and female. So let's focus now on the male reproductive system. So for the male reproductive system, we have the major organs. We have testes, epididymis, ductus deferens, seminal vesicles, prostate glands, penis, and scrotum. So the major function of the male reproductive system is produces male sex cells and hormones. Male sex cells, which is called as a sperm, and hormones. So I will not be discussing it furthermore because it's very understandable naman that the male reproductive system, the function lang talaga niya is to produce male sex cells or the sperm and hormones. Okay. So yon. So let's proceed now to the next part of reproductive system. We have female reproductive system. In female reproductive system, we have major function. We have ovaries, uterine, tubes, uterus, vagina, labia, clitoris, and mammary glands. If the male reproductive system is eventually has a one function, sa babae naman marami. Kasi bakit? We can produce female sex cells or the oocytes and hormones, supports developing embryo from conception to delivery, and provides milk to nourish a newborn infant. So that is our function. Tatlo. So that is why female reproductive system or female is very important in the earth or the entire world kasi tayo ang nagre-reproduce. But if wala naman the combination of the man or the male reproductive system, wala namang nangyayaring reproduction. So the both system or the both type of reproductive system is important. Okay, so reproductive system, again, for the last time, produces gametes, sex cells, and sex hormones. And it can, from the production of sex cells and sex hormones, we can have the ultimately produces a offspring or can develop a offspring. So that is the reproductive system. So that is the end of our discussion for this lesson, which is the human body and organ system. So I hope you are understand the different type or the 11 organ system. It is actually the introduction. I'm eventually introducing to you the 11 organ system. If you have question, you can leave that in our GC. Thank you and have a safe day.